Sound check. Got the bars. Don't have my headphones plugged in. Yep, I confirmed that today I'm such a deadbeat dad. I officially owe, I got to cover up my social security number. And you can't see it here, but trust me, it's here. Add them up, $50,000 in back child support. Hang on just a second. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Your host, the humble, notorious dad, the broke-ass guy that usually wears dirty shirts, the arrogant son of a bitch that I am. I've had custody of Blaine for over 3 years now. And according to the Attorney General, the douchebag Attorney General, Ken Paxton, it's on there. $50,000 is what yours truly owes. So if I wrote a check for $50,000 to the Ken Paxton, the douchebag Attorney General of Texas, all of a sudden I'd be like the greatest dad ever. Like suddenly I'd just be in perfect good dad condition. But no, Ken Paxton's not having it. So what happened? Blaine wants a bank account. And so being the irresponsible father that I am, I drove him around. We got his birth certificate, his social security card, and blah, 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 all the hoops you got to go through. Went to shopped around 2 or 3 different places. They finally said, well, he's under 18. He's 17. It's close, but he has to be 18. Or you have to be a co-signer. I said, okay. But we have to run your credit, Mr. Leverett. I said, run it all you want. It's going to show up like crap. It always does. But I've opened up 2 or 3 bank accounts over the past few years. And never had a problem. Well, this time they ran it, and sure enough, they said, Mr. Leverett. I said, I know that look. She said, yes, you've got 2 hits. One is for, where did my glasses go? Oh my goodness, here they are. Like my little cheap glasses. So damn cheap. They come with a free scratch right in the middle of them. But for $10, that ain't bad. 2 different sources on here. Attorney General. One says $28,672. The other one is $21,504. And I'm sure there's all kinds of penalties and interest, and it gives a bunch of dates. And I was going to post the actual picture. I put a real picture on my Instagram and my Facebook. I didn't even bother putting it on my YouTube community channel because it makes it a square and it's too small, and it's just trust me, it's there. So yeah, anyway, I go to be the irresponsible father that I am and take my son to get his very first bank account, and I can't even get one because the deadbeat Attorney General says that I'm a deadbeat and that I owe $50,000 in back child support when all of this was settled in our mediation in October of 2017, when I already had Blaine in my custody, primary custody since July. So July, August, September, October. Yeah, I'd already had him 3 months then. We agreed in writing. I told that mediator, no child support. No back child support. I'm not paying another fucking dime in goddamn child support, and I'm not. And I'm not paying this either. And Gavin, I'm not trying to throw him under the bus, but he won't do anything about it. I've asked him, I don't know how many times. Every time I just keep getting pushed to the side. Now we're a little backed up. I know we're all backed up. Everybody's backed up. They weren't backed up. There was no such thing as COVID when we went through this shit. But here it is 3 years later, and now we're in the midst of it, and everybody's just backed up, but who has to suffer? Me, not Ken Paxton, for sure. Blaine has to suffer. He's got some things he would like to do with his card, with his debit card. You can't do them. So, anyway, who else is a deadbeat? We got any deadbeat fathers or deadbeat mothers that the Attorney General just says you're a deadbeat, so you're a deadbeat in the audience? Anybody? You got any more deadbeats? The thing is, there's nothing. Who's calling me? Not answering you. The thing is, there's nothing I can do. I've got an attorney on retainer. So therefore, if I were to call the Office of the Attorney General Child Support Division, first thing they ask is my name. Then they ask, do you have an attorney? And I have to say yes. And then they said, well, we can't talk to you then. You have to go through your attorney, which means code word for we want you to pay more money into the system. So I go to my attorney. He doesn't do anything about it. It's been 3 years. I mean, I understand everybody gets a little bit behind, but 3 years, anybody in the private sector that gets behind 3 years would not be in business. I don't know how the Office of the Attorney General, that incompetent sack shit, I don't know how they stay in business, or not business. I don't know. No, I know how. They keep squeezing us. That's exactly how they do it. But what do you do? I mean, I don't want to fire my attorney. He's the one that got me blamed. He's a hell of an attorney. He's just busy. But I can't call him directly. So the only thing I know to do is grind this man's name into the effing ground. I've been using the hashtag Paxton for prison for at least 3 years now. And as a reminder, I've said this before, I'll say it again. When you see a little hashtag followed by Paxton for prison or hashtag anything, and it's highlighted in blue, all you have to do is click it, and it takes you to everybody who's ever made a post regarding that particular hashtag. I've seen it 1,000 times. I do this hashtag Paxton for prison, the video, blah, 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 and they say, which video? What are you talking about, Paxton for prison? I'm like, ugh. A hashtag is a clickable hyperlink. It is not a summary of your brilliant post. It's a hashtag it's a clickable link to get you to other places where other people have talked about the same topic. That's all you got to do. So I don't know what else to do other than just grind his name in the ground. His campaign manager, Michelle Smith, about 3 years ago, reached out to me because I looked back. I've got about 19 videos where I have railed this guy. And it got, relatively speaking to my big videos, it didn't get a lot. But overall, if you add up the views on all of them, it got a lot of views. And a lot of people are like, what the hell? She reached out to me and she called the dogs off after I told her what was going on. But then she threw me under the bus. She was this, super Republican, church, loves her husband, all this crap. It's funny. Less than a year later, she popped up on my Tinder. Her profile, apparently, I don't know if she got divorced or maybe she swings that way. I don't know. But I just thought, how strange, because we're not a match. Big shocker there. So anyway, I don't know what to do other than raise absolute mortal hell. So between now and 2 years from now, and Paxton's going to be amongst the campaigning, he better campaign for all he's worth. He didn't campaign at all. This last re-election, this last election where he got re-elected for the first time. Brandon Lice, thank you so much. That's right. Make it 49,998. Hell yeah. Thank you very much. I'm going to need it. Because what I'm thinking about doing is doing some really, really, really obnoxious trolling. It might involve costumes. It might involve projectors, like big projectors on very large buildings in very big towns that shows like big banners of this douchebag, Ken Paxton, who was arrested shortly after he was elected the first time in 2014 as the Attorney General of Texas. Yes, he was arrested, and yes, he was booked, and yes, he got a mugshot, and no, they didn't make him wear the towel like everybody else because he's special. And he got immediately bailed out, went straight from the photo booth, probably signed a couple of autographs for some of the prison guards holding his prisoners in there. These other deadbeats that their only crime is they can't pay what they're ordered to pay. That, or their only crime in my case, is I'm being ordered to pay something that Judge Billingsley herself has already signed off on that says I don't owe it. So I talked about this the other day, and I'm not going to get into the boring part because I think I put a lot of people to sleep, but I had to get it out there. I knew it wasn't going to be a really popular live, but I had to get it out there. I've got a strategy for getting this guy unelected, and part of it is going to involve reaching out to other Republicans because Texas is most elected people in Texas are Republican. Again, I'm not one. I'm not a Democrat either. I'm none of that crap. But he is. And I understand that some of his supporters who happen to be my friends and support me usually vote that way. I need help. Y'all just reach out to those Texas Republican voters and say, go ahead and vote straight ticket, but do Caleb solid. And when it comes down to you see Office of Attorney General, who are you going to vote for? Don't vote for that guy. And if you could hold your breath, go, and vote for a Democrat. And if you just vote for a Democrat that one time, I won't tell anybody. Tagman Clan Killa, $187, another $2. System are meant to put men back on the plantation. Yep. Whether anybody wants to bid it or not, that's exactly it. We are all wage slaves. That is an absolute fact. This whole land of the free crap is the biggest load of crap I've ever heard propagated in my life. And this is proof of it. How the guy can still be in office. I mean, y'all remember back when California did those recalls and they recalled some governor, and then they had a runoff and they had like 200 people running for governor. You know, we had actors and actresses and mob guys and porn stars. I think Schwarzenegger's the one. That was whenever Schwarzenegger got elected. That had to be back in the early 2000s. I wonder if you can get an attorney general recalled. I wouldn't have a clue how to do that. Oh. Land of the social justice warriors, home of the single moms. Are you talking about me? Yes, Neve Miles. I am a big Sam and Sophie person. They look like they had some pretty decent luck. They had some crazy stuff going on with that armed people headed out to get Sophie and their brothers. That was weird. Farah says, it scares me to have babies now. Well, Farah, it should. And a lot of people shit on me for saying that, but it should scare you. I tell all young people, including my own kids, think twice, think 3 times, think 10 times before you think about bringing a cute little bundle of joy, because they are cute. When they get there, there's nothing sweeter. And the reality sits in and you get divorced, because most people do, or at least half of them. Okay, for the people that just hate it when I say that, okay, 40%, 30%, 25%, it's a bunch of us. A lot of people get divorced, and most people's stupid decision to go through the family court to make that happen makes things infinitely worse. You either give up and you crawl in a hole and you just waller in shame and you don't know your kids and you pay until you're broke and you live on the street, or alternately you get really obnoxious and pissed off like me, and you develop this awesome YouTube audience of fellow people that just can't stand cocksuckers like the deadbeat Attorney General Ken Paxton. So I think it's going to be really, really fun to get to that point where we're getting closer and closer to the 2022 elections, and all these strange pictures going to show up on the side of these very large buildings with all sorts of anti-Ken Paxton propaganda. And you can only guess that probably be from yours truly. It's going to be so much fun. One way or another, we're going to get organized, and I'm not going to do the organization on YouTube or any of the major social media because those tend to get squashed. But I'm going to have some underground ways of people that are just as pissed off at me, that may or may not have quite as big of an audience as far as YouTube goes, that want to get together, because when we all show up in mass, like a bunch of us show up in a certain area for a certain cause and do a little trolling and make it really, 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 really known to the supporters of Ken Paxton, who, bless their heart, they're just ignorant sheep and they just will not take the blinders off. We can educate them on just how destructive this man's policies are. And again, like I've said before, I have no expectation that the Democrat who's going to take his place is going to do any better whatsoever. I'd like to think this person would. I can only assume Justin Nelson is going to run again. He seems like a decent guy. You know, he's not one of those radical left-wingers. He's like a super nice guy. He's a lovely wife and a couple kids. He's a lawyer there in Austin. I don't see how he could do any worse. I'll put it to you that way. But that's not the point. The point is, I enjoy being childish because that is part of my activism, because nothing gets done until I get childish. Like, do y'all remember that time 3 years ago, about a month before I got full custody of Blaine? I went on Facebook Live and got served papers from the server who served me all the other times. Oh, Johnny. Tackman Clan Killer 87, $2. Cancel student loans. How about cancel the alimony? I used to have to pay alimony. When I got divorced in 2007, I was agreed. I agreed. They just love to say that. But you agreed. You agreed. Oh, yeah. I agreed. I agreed to pay $2,000 a month for 12 years. And originally in mediation, it started out, they're asking for like $15,000 a month for 40 years as a real offer. No kidding. I got it whittled down to only $2,000 a month for 12 years. In addition to the $2,625 I was ordered to pay, which was the maximum back then, 13 years ago in the state of Texas. So here it is. I'm a deadbeat. And it's going to be real fun, making some organizing and coming up with little secret plans to disrupt Ken Paxton getting reelected. And if it really does happen, because he got so close, he just lost by 2% of the vote. All I got to do is peel off 2 more percent. That's all, 2.1. All I got to do is peel off 2% more of those Republicans. And I'm Republican enough as far as hardcore Second Amendment guy. I think I could find enough friends in Texas to say, you know, that Caleb guy, he's a little wacky, a little strange, a little weird, but man, he seems to be a pretty good dad. I mean, goddamn, he's got balls. I think as a Republican, I'm going to do Caleb a solid, and I'm not going to vote for Ken Paxton. I'll vote all Republican, everybody else, but Ken Paxton, screw that guy. And then I'm going to tell my wife or my husband or my neighbors, and if I get just 2% more to not vote for Paxton, done deal. It's over. He gets to go home and tuck his tail between his sorry ass legs. And his wife will be left, Angela Paxton, will be the only Paxton left in elected office. And he's going to have to go back to the private sector where he doesn't have a lot of friends. Hence the reason he is being indicted on 3 counts by a grand jury, mind you. The grand jury indicted on 3 counts of being a fraud. So he'll by then he won't have that power of his own office as the Attorney General of the state of Texas. Sorry, I shouldn't have done that. That was awful. But okay, dude, you're about to get whacked. Do I have any of my moderators here? I don't think they are. Dadgummit. Well, y'all just ignore the trolls. So, anyways. What else? Blaine and I went shopping, got all the dog food, got all the groceries for the week. And one thing we didn't get done is what Blaine wanted to do the most, and that's get his bank account. So he got to hear an earful of it. Oh, I was hot. I was so pissed off because, yeah, I had other things to do, but also the main thing was to get my son his bank account so he can do the things he wants. Since I'm that much such a deadbeat, taking my son to go do things like be a responsible adult and learn how to be responsible, balance a checkbook or whatnot, and open up a bank account, you know what it requires. Hi, do you have any advice for someone who wants to live with their father and is scared to tell her? I'm in a scary situation at my mom's house and I feel unsafe and can't do anything about it. Chelsea's theater journey. Chelsea, I hate to tell you, sweetie, but it's going to be hard as shit and no one's going to save you but you. Hopefully you've got a dad or someone else that can help you, guide you through it. But when it ultimately comes down to it, when you decide that you've had enough and you put your foot down, no matter what the consequences are, that's when you're going to see change. The best thing anybody can really do to help you is to be there with a camera. And when you tell them what's going to happen, like at the exchange, Chelsea, sweetie, it's time for you to go over whichever one. Sorry, I forgot which. Okay, you want to live with your dad. It's time to go back to your mom's, and your dad can only go so far without him instantly going to prison. So at that exchange, just watch what my boys did, and then make sure your dad or a close friend has got their camera, and they don't turn it this way, they turn it this way. And they don't do this, scared. Because a lot of people I've noticed, they get the ground a lot. They want to they see what's happening, this drama, and they're like, oh, if I had this on film, it would be so. But they do this. They want to hide. And don't ever be scared, especially if you know your rights. And when you're in public, especially in your own vehicle, if that's where you happen to be, if you're on a public sidewalk, know your rights and don't cow down and shake around and get a little bit. And y'all have all seen these videos. You know what I'm talking about. They'll get some good, and then they'll go off to the side. And you can tell they're hiding. They don't want them, because it feels awkward at first when you start recording an asshole doing something they're not supposed to be doing. But once you get used to it, just take a deep breath and realize, okay, Chelsea's dad or Chelsea's friend doing this. This is my daughter Chelsea, or this is my friend Chelsea. I know the stakes here. I've watched this guy Caleb Leverett's channel. She's showed it to me. If you're Chelsea's camera person, when it's time, you can be respectful. Don't just go like right there. Like, you can't invade someone's space. Like, if you wouldn't normally get in someone's face like this without a camera, don't do it in real life. But standing at a normal 6-foot social distancing stance, hold it not this way, hold it horizontally, and hold it very, very plainly. If you're from the side view, for me, it's about right here. And don't be afraid if they look at you, and if they ask you what you're doing, just say, I'm filming for my protection and for yours. That's all you got to say. If they'll say, I don't want you recording me. I don't know what just make up your own. Okay, I'm sorry you feel that way. Well, you can't record here. Well, yeah, actually I can. Well, just put your camera down. No, I don't think. I'm here to record your interaction with Chelsea or whoever situation you're in. So Chelsea, sweetie, you're just going to have to do it yourself. It's going to be painful, and you're going to hurt mom's feelings or somebody's feelings. You can't live your whole life for everybody else. Eventually, everybody you've grown to love as a young person, you're going to grow into your own person, and everyone's going to have these expectations. Well, Chelsea, we saw how you were raised, and we don't do that particular activity or that particular behavior. We expect you to do this. Well, we expect you to do this. Well, you're just being Chelsea, and you grow up, and you just want to be this way. But if you cow down and do what everyone else wants you to, you're always going to be cowed down, pressured. That's when you stand up and say, I am Chelsea. I want to live with my father. I'm old enough now, and I want to live with your mom. I'm not trying to be upset you or be mean to you. And this can be done on the flip side. Dad, I'm not trying to be a dick, but I don't want to see anymore because you're an asshole. You go with your girlfriend too much. You're a drunk, or whatever the reason is. It works both ways. Don't be afraid. I mean, I know it's scary, but eventually find the courage to not be afraid for that moment and speak even though you are afraid. Because I promise you, every time I've ever pulled out a camera, in the beginning, it was a little more difficult, but it gets easier. But there's always this, shit, what? God, how is this going to end? The anxiety, you're like, try to not worry about that anxiety of what's going to happen because of this, because it's going to be bad. No one's going to like it because you're not doing what they think you should do. But you're getting big enough where you can do a little bit more. As children get older, they're supposed to be getting to be their own person. They shouldn't be clones of mom or clones of dad or clones of anybody. They got to let them be themselves. And if your parents, your legal guardians, or your friends and peers won't let you be who you are, you're going to live a miserable, miserable life, living on this hope that Superman or Spider-Man or Deadpool even is going to come save the day. I'm here to tell you the superheroes are not coming. So hope I could answer that question, Chelsea, and best of luck to you. And if it does happen and you're scared to release the video, send it to me. I like juicy stuff like that because I don't really care if a asshole parent gets pissed off at me. I get people pissed at me all the time. Okay, I got to scroll down to the very bottom. Whoa. Spitfire 2873. The mother and boyfriend are sexually abusing and other abuse of her and her brother. Okay, y'all talking about Sophie? Yeah. Do you think Ken Paxton watches your live videos? Adam O'Reilly. I doubt he watches them live. He probably may not even seen them because he seems to be about like one of those really insecure guys. He knows people talk shit about him because nobody gets that high in politics and realizes that they have and doesn't realize they have enemies. All I can say is 3 years ago, Michelle Smith, she may still be, but his then campaign manager, she was the one that saw me raising hell online. And she's the one who called me on the phone and said, hey, how can we make this go away, basically. And I kind of made a deal with the devil last time, and I got the short end of the stick. But I promise you, this time, I'm not getting the short end of the stick this time. Ken Paxton is going to get unelected, or I'm going to damn near die trying to get him unelected. Spinnable, not talking about that. True Tackman. Shelby, sorry you're in Portland. I've had my boys for 4 years, like maybe 300 in child support. I wouldn't even worry about you either love your kids or you don't. I mean, it sucks, but we all, and I include myself in this, we all have to take responsibility for the choices we made and who we decided to make a child with. I made my decision, and it's made my life a living fucking hell for a very long time, pretty much most of my adult life, but I'm living with it. Now there's other things in play with Paxton, and I've done my time. I did 60 days in jail. Now I owe $60,000. I'm fighting back, and the last thing I want to do in my life is jack with getting Paxton unelected. That's the last thing I really care to do. But I don't know how else to get my my passport. I don't know how else to get my name cleared other than just raise hell against that prick. So I hope he watches them. Tag your Republican friends in this video. Send it to them. Say, friend, I understand you're a Republican. I disagree with you, but will you hear me out on this? Just this one case, this one Republican prick in Texas named Ken Paxton. Duo Caleb, my buddy Caleb, a solid, and just leave it blank. If you can, hold your breath, hold your nose. I won't tell anybody. Vote for the Democrat just on that one line item. Just Duo Caleb a solid. My cousin finally got the child support after 18 years. She's still demanding for money. Yeah, that's pretty much what makes the world go around. I got to hop off and charge my phone, Caleb, but I'm glad I caught you live. Oh, hey, Daenerys, yeah. Have a good evening. Have a good evening yourself. Adam O'Reilly, you should use the projector over his head with pictures of his mugshot. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's just going to be the PG ones I'm putting up. I am the Senate. Shelby, you need a Republican mayor badly there. Democrats are the reason you owe child support. Whoa. Daniel Rice. Democrats are the reason you owe child support. Actually, no. In Texas, I don't think there's one single statewide elected Democrat official. If there is, there's not very many. The last one that I'm aware of was in the early 90s was Ann Richards. But no, the judges that I know of and the law writers, the Congress critters that wrote most of the Texas, what do you call it? The family code or whatever. They're mostly Republicans and, dare I say, mostly Christians. For sure, the judge that took Parker away was a Christian because he was in study groups with my own father years ago. The other guy, Judge Rex, Judge Whalen was the one that took Parker. Judge Rex, he's from Andrews, 30 minutes north. I'm quite certain he's hardcore Republican Christian because it's just a Republican area. So those are the ones who put me in jail, took my son, took my liberty, and held me against my will as a political prisoner for 60 days. So Democrats are the reason you owe child support. This is not me defending child or Democrats, because I'm not one. I couldn't care less if it was a Democrat or Republican. I'm just clearing the bail. It just happens to be, I would know it was by and large a majority Republican group. The cops, the bailiffs, the judges, the prison guards, the attorney general in office, his policies, Republicans. Yeah, hardcore. How's the weather in Texas? Well, North Texas, it's freezing. Down here in East Texas, it's still sweaty hot. That's how big Texas is. Daniel Rice, you're right about removing the fathers. Y'all must be having a conversation I wasn't privy to or I didn't notice. Manny FTW, Tipu likes your video, and he told me to ask you to shout his name out. Tipu? Not sure who that is. Benny EXE, not talking about that. Thank you very much. Are you for or against the BLM movement? How many times do I have to make this perfectly clear? A, I'm not talking about divisive crap here. And B, Black lives obviously matter, though I'm not a fan of the current infiltrated organization known as BLM because there's too many trolls in it. Much like if you'll notice in my comment section while I'm doing my lives, it's full of trolls. I don't even necessarily support my own fucking comment section because some of the crap in there is just trolls being trolls. Like a month ago or two when I first started doing this, I looked over in the comment section before I had any moderators and it was like, rest in peace, Parker, rest in peace, Parker. Like, what the hell are y'all talking about? Well, the other people were like, well, maybe that person knows something I don't. Is Parker dead? Parker's dead? Who said Parker? It just went on and on and on. So you don't believe any of it. Evening from Northern Ireland, Carly Gilmore. Evening to you too. Oh my, Carly, it's like past your bedtime, isn't it? 1 in the morning. Caleb Flynn, how are your kids doing? My kids are great. Hope everything goes well. Caleb, are you going to record yourself trolling Ken Paxton? Well, duh. Do y'all know me? If I can actually get close enough to him, hell yeah. The thing is, when he ran for re-election, 2018, he knew he had it in the bag. He did not campaign. Like, he didn't go from county to county and big city to big city, shaking hands and kissing babies. He didn't do it. Not to the best of my knowledge, not one time. That's pretty common for when people such as him, they about 99% sure they got it in the bag without running a campaign. So, but he knows now that he's screwed because he almost lost. He just won by an embarrassing 2% last time. Hence the reason I kept saying, all I got to do is peel off just 2% more of those Republican votes and he loses. That's all I got to do. And I'm pretty sure he knows that because if he doesn't know it, his campaign manager, whoever that may be, whether it's Michelle Smith or someone else, they are the ones who are hired to watch out for people like me. They are aware that, people don't like him, but when you've got a platform with 350,000 YouTube subscribers and then you're saying Paxton for prison, those are the ones that are hired to look out for because people like me are an actual threat. And when I say threat, I mean politically. So don't anybody take that in a I'm inciting violence way because I most certainly am not. Anytime I ever say something like, we're going to take Paxton out, I mean kick him out of office. Nolan 593-62947 Belton. Is that California? CA 399 super chat. Thank you very much because that really helps me out. Because Austin's about a 2.5, 3 hour drive from here. Not bad, not nearly as bad as it used to be from Odessa. But yeah, I'm going to take some. It's going to take some money and effort to get all this done. Nolan, you're from Canada. Cannot wait to visit there. As I've said, every time someone visits or tells me they're from Canada, I always want to talk about my visit that I want to do at Prince Edward Island because I am the biggest Anne Shirley fan of all time. Anne of Green Gables, Anne with an E. Oh, just absolutely love it. Speaking of, to get completely off the topic, Anne of Green Gables, the main actress who played Anne Shirley Her name in real life is Megan Follows, and I'm finally catching up on House MD, the TV show. And season 7, episode like 21 or 22, Megan Follows had a cameo in there. And it was so disappointing because it was cool to see her talk as a grown woman, like 20, 25 years later after she made those movies, or maybe 30. But she played a fraud, and she deceived a guy. And I was like, oh man, I've always held Anne of Green Gables up on this big, big high pedestal because she's just Anne Shirley, and I just love her so much. And then now she's this grown woman playing a crook on House, which is my favorite TV show. Roman Perez, are you a millionaire? Oh yeah, just got all that money just rolling out. Me and my single wide that I'm renting. Yep, I'm just rolling in it, man. My YouTube channel. Oh, you've got 27 million videos or views on that one. You must be a millionaire. Sorry, it doesn't work that way. It's working out a lot better than it was, and it's a lot better. I'm able to not stress about having to go dig up oil field work, but no, unfortunately, I'm not a millionaire. I did buy a lottery ticket today, so everybody cross your fingers. Fingers crossed. Notorious Dad wins the lottery tonight, and then my obnoxious trolling is just going to get infinitely bigger if I actually do win. That would be really nice. Ferris says, I wish I was a millionaire. Don't we all? 50,000. Average people don't make no more than 30,000. Exactly. From TechMan, Clan Killer, one day. Yeah, no kidding. How is that even possible? Parker and Hayden are grown. They're literally emancipated. I've had custody of Blaine for 3 years. That, with London being at her mom's, that cancels it out. But no, they still say, even though Judge Billingsley signed the orders, $50,000 is what I owe if I ever want to open another bank account. Because of all the bank accounts I've got right now, and I'm not going to tell you how many of that is in case my haters are watching me or my Paxton strategists are watching me, I can't even open another one until I pay that off. So just think about that practice. Even if I legitimately owed it and I never got custody of Blaine, if I'm working my ass off and I get behind, something happens, the banks close or whatever, I got to change accounts, oh, heaven forbid someone moves, you get this on your record from the Attorney General. You go to open a new bank account so you can get this new job, get your direct deposit, and you can't even open a bank account. What is the logic? How is that in the best interest of the child? I'll never understand that backwards ass logic. If you got close enough to Ken Paxton, what would you say? I'd introduce myself. Hello, deadbeat Attorney General Ken Paxton. My name is Caleb Leverett, the deadbeat dad of Texas. One of your biggest pains in the ass. That's exactly what I tell him. I'm not interested in sugarcoating it anymore. There's none of this civility crap. I'm not here to be nice. I'm going to be nice enough at first, but he didn't give a crap who I am anyway, so I have no problem with being rude to the man. I don't care. Why were you not paying child support, Funny? Funny Lady asked me. Man, what a brilliant question, Funny Lady. Why didn't I think of that? If I'll just pay child support, then I won't owe child support. That is a brilliant idea. The thing is, I don't owe it. That's entirely the point. You must be new. Maybe if I shouldn't be jumping down your throat. Maybe you're brand new to this, but the thing is, I've got the paperwork. I think it's actually, well, it's in the bottom drawer. I've got the signed paperwork there if anybody actually cared to see it. I don't owe child support. Funny Lady, I'm new. Okay, I'm sorry, Funny Lady. I promise. I apologize. Sorry, I get a little aggravated at my troll sometime, and I shouldn't. I shouldn't have done that, but I apologize, Funny Lady. You didn't know, and you're just asking. I totally get it. So, okay, I'm not doing shout-outs because y'all make these funny names, and I almost got in trouble one time and said something that would have, if it got turned around, I'm not doing that anymore. So, thanks, but no thanks. Court system is one big circus. Yep. How do you owe when your kids are grown? Rebel Jack, that's a good question. Inquiring minds want to know, Ken Paxton. Why is it like this? Like I've said 1,000 times, any private business that ran their business the way the Office of the Attorney General runs their duties, their business, what they as far as what they do, any private business in Texas, especially, much less the world, would have gone bankrupt a long time ago. If you sold a widget to somebody in October of 2017 and you didn't get paid for 3 more years and your customer won't call you back, how would you feel? Okay, if you're the one selling the product, do you really think that you're going to get repeat business? But the Attorney General doesn't care because they're communists. That's going to be really harsh to my Republican friends, but yes, they're communists, and that's how they survive. They're leeches. They don't produce anything. They take. They take, they take, they take. They're like the Gestapo. They show up, they go door to door, or they send their goons to go door to door, or they send letters door to door, and they take, they take, they take. And it is irrelevant to them how efficient they are. That doesn't matter. As long as they take the money, put it on paper, they get Title 4D funding that matches those dollars, dollar for dollar, maybe it's a 2 for 1, I'm really not sure. They take, and as long as they do that and they get their federal money, that's all they matter. That's all they care about. They do not care about efficiency. That's why I say they're a bunch of commies, because the average capitalist in business that ran a business that way would not be in business. Period. End of story. There's no such thing as a business that can go 10 or 3 years without paying their bills and still be going. It just doesn't happen. But in the magic fairyland where Ken Paxton gets his magic wand out and waves his magic fairy dust and then gets out there and talks about who all he's suing. I sued the Obama administration, and go Trump ever the way. No matter what happens with Trump, Trump all the way. I sued Obama. And this lady, she illegally voted. She actually, I forgot her name. I made a video about her. This lady literally campaigned for the guy and voted, and there was a mistake somewhere in some paperwork, and she's literally in jail right now, doing an 8-year sentence, courtesy of the deadbeat Attorney General Ken Paxton, over accidentally voting wrong. So yeah, I'm the big asshole. I'm the bad guy. I'm the one that should pay $50,000 when it's already been agreed to that I don't have to pay any back child support. So Caleb, you need a mediator. I can moderate Service Chihuahua. Yeah, I've got 2 mediators, and they're just not here at the moment. I apologize. Someone asked me the other day the qualifications to become a mediator. I'm sure of many of you, probably most of y'all, have the best of intentions, but I'm real anal about mediators. The best way to become a mediator, if you really want to, is I'd have to know you. So can you try and do an English accent, please, from Manny FTW? I suck at it, dude. I love my English friends and I love my English shows like Lucifer. It's probably by far, at least in the top 5. I just can't. I embarrass myself enough on a daily basis with my crazy ass Facebook posts and my Instagram posts and the shit that I talk about on my lives. I embarrass myself enough. I don't want to embarrass myself further by insulting the British people with the really good British accents. I just can't do it. I'm about as good at my British accent as Jim Carrey in Dumb and Dumber. Dumb and Dumber. Put another shrimp on the barbie. And he totally didn't realize that was an Australian accent. Do you think Ken Paxton should go? How long do you think Ken Paxton should go to jail for? Well, if convicted to the maximum of the 3 that the 3 things he's been indicted on, I think it's 99 years is the maximum. If he does go to prison, I doubt it is that long, but he can go to jail for the rest of his fucking life for all I care. I couldn't care less. You know, to use his own words, you know, let go and let God. So he can just let go and go to prison and just let God take care of it. Oh my God, I jumped back on at the perfect moment. Yeah, Caleb's being obnoxious. Shashvat Shande, I can't pronounce your name very well. Pardon me. I'm just not talking about that. He's fine. Let's see, Caleb Flynn, you've helped me through so much, Caleb. Thank you so much. Well, you're welcome, fellow Caleb. I'm from the UK. Who is Ken Paxton exactly? He's the deadbeat Attorney General of Ken Paxton. Basically, they call him the top cop in each of the states within the United States. He's in charge of prosecuting on state levels. He's in charge of all things child support enforcement. His office is in, like, they juggle hundreds of millions of dollars through their office, if not more. Ken Paxton, got it. Yep, that's the douchebag. Like I said, I've been calling out Ken Paxton for years, even on my YouTube channel. My very first one is called I'm a Deadbeat Dad. And I'm in my field truck. I just got done with the job. And I take you on a nice little tour of my big, long, I wouldn't say expensive, but I've dumped a lot of money into it to get it to what it is so I could do the jobs that I did. And I give you a tour of, give you an overview of my tools. I even pull out my 1/2-inch Milwaukee Impact that I affectionately call the ex-wife because it will tear some shit up. So y'all if you get a chance, that'll be the introduction of me. That was literally 3 years ago, bashing the douchebag Attorney General Ken Paxton, who deserves it. Why are they trying to make you pay money for child support? That's just how it is here, man. That's the big question. We went to mediation October 2017, agreed. No more current child support, no more back child support. I signed it. They signed it. Judge Billingsley signed it. Sent it to the Attorney General. They ignored it. I guess, or they lost it. Maybe their dog ate it. I don't know. I don't know what their excuse is. That's a good question. I don't know. Everybody else has done their part, done their job, but 3 years later, Ken Paxton's office is still incompetent. They haven't done it. I'm going to watch Intro to Crank My Cat, my very oldest video. Okay, I apologize in advance for how corny it is. Do you really think that Ken Paxton brought that up because of your last video? Brought what up? I'm not sure what you're talking about. I don't know how much Ken Paxton knows of me personally. All I know is 3 years ago when he was running for re-election, his campaign manager, Michelle Smith, who I'm not even sure is still his campaign manager, was the one who called me and said, we need to work this out. Why are you so upset? She, without saying it, she basically said it without saying it. I need you to shut up, so you need to tell me what I can do to get you to shut up because you're really making us look bad and you're really making my job harder. And I was real appreciative of her at first. I was a little standoffish, but once she actually did call the dogs off and they quit accruing at the time what the amount was, I appreciated it. But as far as getting rid of it, like I told her, I'm not budging until this is fixed. I backed off too soon. Rebel Jack, what do politicians even do to deserve all the money they get paid? They're all liars. You misspelled leeches. Oh, just kidding. Liars, leeches, those are all really good synonyms to describe people like that. Many FTW. So Ken's side was meant to sign, but they purposely didn't, so they would get you to pay more money, right? No. All they do is enforce it. They don't care how much I'm or how much they don't care how much I should pay. We agreed in mediation that there was none to be paid. The mediator said, okay, you're not paying her and she's not paying you, and everything you owe in the past is all wiped clean. Did we agreement? Yeah, we agreed upon it. Judge Billings was like, cool. All right, y'all come to agreement. No one knows anything. Blaine's where he wants to be, and the other kids where they want to be. Cool, sign off. Hopefully, I'll never see y'all again. Send it to the Attorney General. Attorney General, it is your job. I, Sarah Kate Billingsley, the baddest judge in West Texas, probably to all of Texas, I'd venture to say. Bad meaning bad, not bad meaning, or bad meaning good, not bad meaning bad. It's your job, Ken Paxton's office, to update the orders that I've signed. And that's what they're supposed to do. They're not supposed to look into it. Well, we don't quite interpret it that way. Is that an Oxford comma or is that a regular comma? Because that could really change the meaning of it. That's not what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to do their damn job and update it and make it a zero balance. And then all this would be, I wouldn't even be doing any of this. I wouldn't have to. So I hope that answers your question. What state are you in? Texas deadbeat Attorney General Ken Paxton. If I knew as a child that lying is what pays the big bucks, I would have practiced it more. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. It seems in America you didn't vote for who's best for your country, but who's least worst for the country. I'm not American, so if I'm wrong, please correct me. You're pretty close. They put the worst of the worst, absolute worst of the worst people to choose from for the most part, especially in the duopoly. Caleb Flynn, are you Republican or Democrat? Neither. I've talked about that so many times. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I was raised Republican, but I was also raised a Christian, and I'm not that either anymore. So I'm agnostic. I'm libertarian. I'm a voluntarist, if that's what you want to call it. I'm the A word, that scary, scary word that the bad orange man spits around, the A word. Just frighten me. Don't I just frighten y'all? Because I am the A word. And FTW, have you ever been to the UK? If not, is the USA good? Might consider moving. Haven't been trying to get there for 2 years. Hence the reason I'm throwing such a fucking fit. I want my passport renewed so I can go to the UK to meet my friend, best friend, old friend, girlfriend, ex-girlfriend, whatever we are, in Ipswich, England. Been trying to do that for almost 2.5 years now. Can't do it because Ken Paxton will not update my status. So yeah, love British. I've learned a whole bunch about British culture just from talking to her for the last 2.5 years. Guys, he answered the question. Yeah, I know some people, I'm not trying to get irritated, but some people join in. Some people got to get off and then get back on. It's been years. How's Parker? Yeah, I'm still not talking about that. The Hulk smash video was kind of cringe. I just have to be honest. Xavier the Gamer 2007, it was cringe. And that was probably one of my very first cryptid videos of me being obnoxious. Wow, buddy mine just texted me. Jeffrey, if you're watching this, I'll get back with you in a bit. 53 minutes, so I'm pretty well into this. Wow, that's interesting. I can't talk about that here. It's a private thing, but he's as obnoxious as am I. Yeah, I know there's probably for the rest of my life going to be the House Parker crowd, so I guess it's not your fault. I've just talked about it till I'm blue in the face, and I'm just not talking about it. It's everything that I've ever wanted to put out about my children that I care to make public is already public, and if it's not public, that means it's private, and I'm not talking about it anymore. Rebel Jack, yes, he's grown. That's okay. Damn, Ken Paxton's a sad man. Yep, he's about to be, hopefully, a poor man. An unemployed man. Have to go back to the private sector. I think he's a lawyer by trade. But he got in trouble for some kind of, something having to do with not registering with the state as a, I don't know, an advertiser? I don't even know. I don't even pretend to know. All I know is you got to be. I know that a grand jury can indict a ham sandwich. I totally get that. Hell, they tried to get me indicted from a grand jury from the Parker video. I assume everybody here's seen the Parker movie, right? Yeah. Her lawyer went to a grand jury and said, Caleb Leverett tried to kidnap his son, and we have video proof of it. So they played the video for the grand jury, and they're like, I wasn't there, but I can only imagine. No. You're wanting to file kidnapping charges, and this is your evidence. The boy's saying, I don't want to get out of my truck, and I want to be with my dad. And he drove off with his dad, and his dad patted him on the back, said he's proud of him. I cannot believe how much shit I got from some people. They blew a freaking head gasket when I patted Parker on the shoulder and said, buddy, you stood up for yourself. I'm proud of you. I can't believe that. Of all things to get mad at me about, telling my son I'm proud of him. So yeah, that one got no build, meaning they're like, sorry, Mr. Lawyer from Midland, whose name Caleb's not going to say at the moment because he kind of said he wasn't going to, but if y'all know who I'm talking about, he's in the Parker versus the Man. No, we're not going to press kidnapping charges against this man. But they did against Ken Paxton, 3 different counts. Brandon Lice, $9.99 in the super chat. Thanks so much, brother. Try the Travis Scott meal from McDonald's. It's good. Dude, McDonald's, thanks for the $9.99, but God bless McDonald's. They've kept my grown kids, alive and healthy during the poorest of our times, as they did me when I was breaking out and poor. I just can't do McDonald's. I just can't. I'm sorry. Thanks, though. Holy crap, I'm behind again. Odd question. How old are you now? 43. Okay, Rob Brads. Caleb, can you please unmute Awesome AGP? I was chatting on his account on your live stream, and he really wants to give you idea and a lot of great stuff. There's a lot of great stuff to say. I can't do it on the fly. I'll have to do it later, or I'll maybe I know how to do it. I just can't do it on the fly. Maybe I'll look into it. I don't know why. Maybe Miss Mary or Becca got pissed off at it. I'm not sure. Yeah, I agree. McDonald's Day. I mean, I'm not shitting on McDonald's. I'm really, really not. They provide. There's a demand for their product, and if people want to go buy it, by all means. I physically get sick. I got a milk carton from there. Like, I wasn't even married at the time, so it was 23, 24 years ago, and I'd just been to a field job, and I chugged it, and it was rotten, and I've had a bad taste in my mouth, literally ever since. Not my thing. Not going to lie, you look like an older John Cena. That's fine. I've been called worse. I love those John Cena or Bart Simpson's like turning on all the John Cena. I don't know if y'all seen that video. It's hilarious. What is your hope for the future? Karen Byrne, you must be British. What is your hope for the future? Love to you and the kids. Well, like everybody, I just want to grow old with my kids and grandkids, and hopefully I don't have any grandkids anytime soon. I wouldn't be upset if I didn't have any at all, but I just want to be done with Ken Paxton, or anybody for that matter, with their goddamn thumb on my ass my entire life. I'm so sick of people putting me under their thumb and trying to control me. That's what I want rid of. My kids are grown now. That's a huge relief. I'm out of the disgusting oil field and all the pricks I've worked for there. I don't have to do their bidding anymore and listen to them bitch and moan about how it wasn't good enough, wasn't fast enough. You did great yesterday, but what did you do for me today? I'm out from underneath that. Now if I could just get out from underneath Ken Paxton and move on with my life and go see my, whatever she is, go see Sade in England, that's all I want. But until then, I'm just going to keep bashing this douche canoe Ken Paxton as often as possible. Thank you all very much for the super chats. I didn't see any super stickers there. If I did, if there was, I missed it. I apologize. But Amy, you're not talking about that. Thanks so much. Fevin F, not talking about that. Bonnie Johnson, I will contact my local Blade newspaper in Toledo, Ohio, and where I live, and let people know about Paxton, encourage them to vote for Paxton. Thank you very much. That's grassroots, Bonnie. Bonnie Johnson, that is grassroots stuff. Like, I'm not here to like dictate, delegate everybody what to do. If you feel me, if you understand where I'm coming from, maybe you've not gone through it yourself, or maybe you have, or maybe you know somebody who has. Maybe you're not in Texas, but you're going through the same thing in a different state. If you understand where I'm coming from and you know somebody in Texas, that it wouldn't really be that big of a pain in the butt for you. Just call them up or email them, say, hey, have you ever heard of this Paxton guy? I mean, I've been watching this Caleb dude on The Notorious Dad for years, and he keeps saying the same thing over and over and over. Like, they keep screwing this guy over. I dare anybody to find – I get accused of being a liar, but they never tell me what I'm lying about. That's what I don't get. You're a liar, Caleb Leverett. Oh, yeah, what did I lie about? Well, I don't know, but you're a liar. I mean, what I'm getting at is, if you've watched me, I'd like to think I'm pretty consistent. Sometimes I misspeak. I go back occasionally, watch some of my older videos, and I thought, well, that sounded silly, but it was really quick, and I simply misspeak. But anyway, if you're one of the people that just kind of gets what I'm saying, and you may not live in Texas, but have really good people, friends or whatever, or people in high-powered places that do, people in media maybe, that would want a good, nice, juicy story. Because I promise you this, the media will not cover me for now, other than, they did a little bit back in the Parker days, very little, but they did a little bit, until something drastic happens. When Ken Paxton loses in 2022, he will probably be one, if not the only one, if for sure very few statewide reelecting officials to lose to a Democrat. And that will make waves, because that hasn't happened in so long. This will be like a first. And my goal is to get him, first of all, unelected, where he loses horribly and embarrassingly. Second of all, I'm going to throw a really childish party in celebration of it. And third, this is really important, really, really important. When the media starts covering it, they'll indefinitely ask, how did this happen? And I'm going to be saying, teacher, me, like Hermione Granger. Oh, me, yeah, oh, I'll speak. I'll tell you all about it, what the douche canoe this guy is, and I'll give you all kinds of years of me finally speaking truth and something happening to this guy. And I hope to get copycats, and not just copycats. Like I've said in the past, I love the copycats that take what me and my kids did and make it better, make it more efficient, make it something that would blow my mind, like, wow, that was fantastic. Kind of like Sophie's dad. He saw an atrocity and didn't do this and didn't do this and didn't do this, kind of hide it. One of the videos is a little shaky, but the main one that went really super viral, he's like this. Steady, horizontal, right in grandma's face, right in mom's face. As awful as it was for him to watch his own little girl scream literally bloody murder. That was fantastic. So I hope to get copycats. That people have already copied what we've done as far as filming at drop-off. I'm glad. Be better than we ever were. Same thing with my strategy to get this very, very powerful man unelected in Texas. If it actually works, I cannot wait to see the copycats and how much better they will do it. And then inspire even more people to say, well, I saw Caleb do it, and I saw this other guy do it, and it worked. Well, this prick here is elected in office, and here's what he's done to me and my family and my community and my neighborhood. Let's join the forces and let's do what they did, except let's make it better, stronger, horrible, more horrible, and more embarrassing for this prick and get them unelected. That's just it's a pipe dream. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I will say this. Watch my live from not yesterday, I think the day before. I strategized about getting Paxton to lose, and just hear me out. It's kind of boring because I'm talking about numbers a lot. All I have to do is peel off 2% more. Paxton won by 2%. That's it. That's a very thin margin. If I can peel off those 2% real slow, and then it's going to be Paxton left with a big goose egg, and it's going to be me doing this when he loses. All I got to peel off is those 2%. Just peel just a little bit more, and the man loses. So, kids, we're in an hour and 6 minutes, and I've not even been, I'm sorry, I haven't been watching the comments. I'm tired. I'm kind of losing my voice, and I'm going to go holler at Blaine. He was texting me also earlier. But anyway, thanks so much, everybody. Thank you very much for the super chats. I really do appreciate it. I don't promote my memberships very much, but if you would like to become a member, it would definitely help me out a lot. It'll help my channel out a lot. I'm got most of my comments turned back on. I got some of the old comments are slowly but surely trickling in. I'm still working with YouTube to get my comment section on my community section open back up. And there's a couple more things, minor things I've got to get fixed. But anyway, thanks so much, everybody. Again, thanks for the super chats and the stickers. I do really appreciate it. I thank you for the questions. Please forgive me if I sound a little, snippy, like on the House Parker people. I'm not trying to be a dick, but I can only answer that so many times. I'm not trying to be a prick. Just hopefully trying to get the point across. There's more to my channel than the one movie that most everybody sees. Just watch the rest of it and it'll tell you. So anyway, thank you very much. I'll see y'all here in a day or two or 3 or 4. I'm not sure when, but y'all been great. Enjoyed it. Good night.